I think also this morning what I heard was some concern about the University of Washington being the first to do this sort of thing in the Nike contract. And I don't think that's dangerous for the university. I think this is a real chance for the university to show that the current system for negotiating contracts with apparel suppliers like Nike and Adidas, that isn't working with regards to labor rights. And that this university wants to take a stand and really take the initiative on that issue. And we here, like all of us in this room, we want to be proud of this university. You know, I want to go and wear my yellow and purple and be really proud of this university. But when I know that that we are not taking, that we're afraid to take this step forward and really deal with this issue in a concrete way and ensure that workers' rights are protected, I just question, how can I be proud of my university? So I think this is a real chance for the University of Washington to say that even though nobody else has done this before, somebody needs to take that step forward, somebody needs to be a leader. And I think this university really can do that.
And I'll just add one really quick point. There was also a concern this morning that for some reason there is this sort of thought going around that the Designated Suppliers Program doesn't exist and therefore the UW can't adopt it. Well, I mean, cast our minds back to when the United States Constitution was a document. It didn't become a live, active program until it was endorsed by the states, until it was adopted by the states. It's the same thing here. The Designated Suppliers Program will only become an active, workable program if universities are willing to step forward to adopt the standards, to make the standards their own. And if enough universities do that, then that's how it becomes a live program. We call on the University of Washington to take that step here this afternoon, to postpone the agreement, to adopt the revised code of conduct, and to be a leader once again, like Stephanie said.
The expiration of the current contract does not expire, or does not come up until July. We have ample time to investigate this. I think by the show of people here today that there is a craving for participation in creating the new contract and creating the new standards. And I would like to offer SLAP's work, as well as all the members who are here in support of us today, to help guide and help shape, and that our efforts are devoted to this campaign. This is a very serious issue, and we call upon the Board of Regents to help us succeed in our efforts, and that the university be a part of this new shaping process, and to really, as it was mentioned earlier in the meeting today, that with these new times, there are new interesting opportunities. This is it. This is exactly the moment we've been looking for, especially in terms of the campaign for the DSP, that we're looking for a way to implement a workable DSP. This is it. And I think that translates into opening up, as you're doing right now, which we thank you for, opening up the board for community participation, public forum, investigations and presentations. And I would just really like to encourage that you foster that process.
Yeah, look, I mean, I've got a couple of points here. The first thing is we're not asking for disengagement. All we're asking is that the university commits to a set of standards, and that when it has committed to this set of standards, that it approaches its licensees and says, if you can meet these standards, we will license. You can license with us. And if they can't, and if they can't credibly demonstrate that they will, then we shouldn't, honestly, as an institution, be doing business with them. But we hope that if Nike, because Nike's assured us for the last 8 years, since all of the horrible child labour exposés in the late 90s, they've assured us that they're working on the issue, that they're committed, that they're legitimately, it's not just rhetoric, there's a commitment, right? Well, if there really is a commitment to making fundamental change in the apparel industry and addressing the root causes of sweatshops, then they won't blink at agreeing to a code of conduct that supports workers' rights.
Right.
right? And so, if that level is false, then we shouldn't be doing business with a company where that exists. And I just have one other point. There's talk about creating a national market for ethically produced. That is exactly what the Designated Suppliers Program is. There are 45 schools right now who have said that they are committed to making this market, to creating this market. And you're right though, someone has to take those first steps. Someone has to say to Nike, no, this is not good enough. We're together with our university brethren, with our students, or we're going to make this change happen, and we're going to make it happen now. And we want to create this market, and we're going to create it now. And that's what we're asking you to do, to take that step, to take a risk. Take the step, be a leader, do it now. Someone has to do it. You have to be the ones to do it.
Just to be clear, and I know you understand this, we are asking them to commit to standards. I think we're probably not at the level of standards we need to have eventually, but we are asking for certainly movement in that direction, and that is embedded in what we're doing initially here if we choose to accept this contract. But it's not the end of the story. And I really think your comments are well taken, and I fundamentally don't disagree with where we're trying to head. It's how we get there.
The fight. Workers' rights are human rights. We will not give up the fight. Workers' rights are human rights. We will not give up the fight. Workers' rights are human rights. We will not give up the fight. Workers' rights are human rights. We will not give up the fight. Workers' rights are human rights. We will not give up the fight. Workers' rights are human rights. We will not give up the fight. Workers' rights are human rights. We will not give up the fight. Workers' rights are human rights. We will not give up the fight. Workers' rights are human rights. We will not give up the fight. Workers' rights are human rights. We will not give up the fight. Workers' rights are human rights. We will not give up the fight. Workers' rights are human rights. We will not give up the fight. Workers' rights are human rights. We will not give up the fight. Workers' rights are human rights. We will not give up the fight. Workers' rights are human rights. We will not give up the fight. Workers' rights are human rights. We will not give up the fight. Workers' rights are human rights. We will not give up the fight. Workers' rights are human rights. We will not give up the fight. Workers' rights are human rights. We will not give up the fight.
Workers' rights are human rights. We will not give up the fight. Workers' rights are human rights. We will not give up the fight.